What's up, guys? HOTSHOTFRONTIER back at it again with another video. And in this video, guys, we're gonna be talking about cards that desperately need reprints, and we're hoping that Konami eventually does give us those reprints. So starting off with Magical Android, a card that is almost essential in Edison format. It has 4 printings, and despite that, the card is insanely expensive. Now, I personally have not looked at this card in a while since I made my Edison deck. Of course, I made Black Wings, but I ended up picking up a Duelist Genesis copy for about like 18, 19 bucks. And as you can see, everything is still slowly going up. I think it's a very good format to get into if you guys are looking to have, somewhat of a really good experience, a good back and forth. Because with current advanced TCG, it's a 10-15 minute turn for your opponent, and then it goes to you, of course. So it's just a great format to kind of just jump right back in, especially if you haven't played in so long. But either way, this card really needs that reprint, and it's very essential for the format. Now I'm hoping that Konami does, eventually reprint it. Now it would bring the prices down tremendously, but it's something that we do need, for the community. But moving on, let's go to Clockwork Night. So this card came out in Crystal Revenge, and when it did come out, it was about a $4 or $5 card. I mean, people already knew off the bat this card was really good in terms of just transforming all the monsters on field into machines, and that's great because then you can use something like Super Poly and just take everything away, right, and get to something bigger. But I think over time, people sort of just, neglected this card, went to $7, $8, a $9, $10. Now, unfortunately, this card is like 13, 14 bucks, closing on to like 15, and it's really good, especially with something like Ancient Gear, which we will get into. I think you guys know exactly which card I'm going to talk about with Ancient Gear. But anyway, though, this card is great, and because it came out in a side set, it's hard to tell when this card will actually be reprinted in the future. Now, this card is not on the, the top like 5 cards that should be reprinted, but it's still something that is notable and definitely should be on Konami's like radar for cards that need reprints. Moving on, we do have Ancient Gear Fortress. I highlighted it for you guys so you know. This card is notorious, okay? And when I say notorious, I mean notorious for not having that reprint. This came out in the Machine Reactor Structure deck that came out how many years ago? This had Max C in the Structure deck. That's how long ago it came out. But wow, it's essential for Ancient Gears. You need 3 of these in the deck itself. And this card is so expensive. It's about $22, $23, going to $25. It's incredible how long this has not been reprinted. We've had several Ancient Gear reprints, new Ancient Gear cards, and still this card has been dodged every single time. I don't know what Konami is doing. I don't know if they just thought people weren't playing Ancient Gears anymore, but I think people still love the deck, and if you're going to provide more support, you do need to provide this reprint. It's so essential to the deck. I mean, if anyone that wants to get into the deck at all, they have to go ahead and just shell $36 just for 3 copies of this. That's crazy to me. I don't think that we should wait this long for something like this, right? There are other things that are more like reasonable, like, okay, we'll wait, but this is not one of them. You definitely should be on top of your game when we're printing cards like this. Moving on, we do have the Samurai Destroyer. Now, for Tenpai, of course, they only play the 1, but I just wanted to make note of it because this is a card that could relatively go up to the levels of other cards we recently just talked about, right? It gets neglected, pushed back, people won't play Tenpai, they need the 1 of. This card's gonna be like, what, $20? Like, it's just inevitable unless they provide more reprints, and it's just a rare too, so I can definitely see them maybe bring this up to like a super rare. OTS 26, who knows, right? But something to also just think about as we go throughout this. And if I, of course, miss any cards that you guys are like, wow, this really needs a reprint, let me know down below in the, of course, the comment section, and let's discuss it. So moving on, we have the Crystal Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. So the Ghost Rare was about 15 bucks before, and now the Crystal Clear Wing Synchro Dragon itself was like a $11, $12 card. Now, this card isn't the most important card to get a reprint, but I want to state it because it has been a while since Synchro Storm, and this card is, if you haven't read it, is really broken, and you can easily make this with something like Crimson Dragon. Now, the Ghost Rare, at least the set had a precedent on it where people were like, wow, this set is like terrible, right? If you get the literalist stuff, it was good, but then at the same time, it was just a bad set in terms of value. Especially the Ghost Rare, it let you down, right? It wasn't like Rage of Raw with the Ring Dragon of Raw being like the chase card. Unfortunately though, I think that people at the time were just kind of like, let's disregard this card. But I mean, personally, if you were one of those people that pulled this card, you kept it, or you just bought into it because you're like, it's gonna go up. Well, luckily for you, it is going up. It's around 30 bucks now, which is not a bad price for this card. And like I said, it's a great effect, and you can easily go into this with something like Crimson Dragon. Now, I don't know if this card will ever get a reprint. We have gotten other crystal, like clear wing sort of like support for previous sets, but this card has been dodged. So I think with time, this card will like, even just with the ultra rare, will go up to like a $20 card easily. It's something that's, you know, not desperately, but still needs a reprint in the future. Moving on, so of course we talked about the ghost, but we do have Trap Dust Shoot. This is a an insane card, a same trap card for the Edison format, as you guys know. And despite its 4 reprints, this card is still so expensive. Like a common from the Guardian set is around probably like, I want to say 12. Okay, so about, yeah, not even 12, because like that's, you know, like mod play, heavy played. If we continue to go up, it's like, if you want a Nearman copy, it's very hard. It's not easy with this card. So if we look up, yeah, Nearman's like 17, 18 bucks. And that's really for all of the cards here, right? Unless you want like the Champion Pack 5 super rare. That's when like super rares at the time were really like hard to get, and they were like kind of like treasured, other than like ultras and secrets and stuff like that. But this is definitely like, I feel like at this point, Konami knows Edison format is very popular. It's great at side events for events. What they really should focus on is making their next set, a reprint set, like around Edison format. Not that it will devalue everything that's in Edison format, but just kind of like give little rarity upgrades here and there, you know? Nothing like crazy, but just show that you care about older formats as well. Don't just like move on. Once you move on to another format, you just leave that format in the dust. It should be, you sort of just like can come back to it, and also treasure other formats people do love, right? Like grew up with. But moving on though, we do have Heatwave, and we have talked about this before on, you know, cards that you definitely should buy before it's too late. If you guys have not been checking out those videos, definitely go ahead and do so. I make them at least once a week on the channel. But this card itself is amazing, and it has sort of cooled down. Like if you want to get a common from the Speed Duel Tournament Pack 5, it's not too expensive, about $8-9 bucks. But you guys do know a few weeks ago, you know, especially it was summer, it was a heat wave, so of course this card went up in price. The Star Strike Blast rare is still really expensive, but at least with the both of the printings from Speed Duel, they're somewhat affordable. But either way, this card still needs a reprint. It's been a while. It only has 2 reprints in terms of just having 3 cards in total for the TCG. It's a great card to have on the side, as you guys know. 1 copy, you know, with some thrusts, and you're good. So I feel like this should also be on their reprint radar at some point. Moving on though, we do have the number 33 Chronomaly Machu Mech. Okay, there we go, we got it. But it really only has the 1 printing, right? Because unless you want to go and get the ulti, which is way more expensive. But there was an FTK a long time ago with dinos. You would go ahead and make this with Bish Bulan, and you would go ahead and start just like destroying their monsters. Or no, I believe, sorry, you target a card, 1 monster they control, and this would be the end of the FTK. You would target that and destroy it, and then the difference would just be inflicted to them as damage. So it was crazy. I think that it's a very gimmicky card, of course, but as like if you're a number hunter, this is one of the cards that would be harder to get because it only has the 1 ultra rare and then it has the 1 ulti. And if someone does come up with another FTK strategy with this card will go up easily to like 20-25 bucks. I can 100% see it. Next up, we do have the Black Blute Draco. So a card that was great for Gemini if you're playing Edison format. It only has the 1 printing, and it is somewhat pricey. I mean, it can go up even further if people really hype up the fact that, you know, they love Gemini and Edison. I think that it was a really cool like archetype to kind of play with. If we look up like Nearman copies, you guys will see. So about $7-8 bucks, not too expensive, but see, it does go up. If people really do hype up Gemini again, easily these will go, and then it will be like an $18, $20, $19 card. And then from there, it'll be like, why doesn't this card have a reprint, right? So it's inevitable. It always happens. Next up, we have Mystic Piper. Now this card, maybe because it's a draw card, sort of, you know? I guess if you're playing a strategy where you do want to kind of draw more into your deck, that could be why, but personally, I'm not too sure about this. If you guys do know why this card I guess, is really expensive. It's only just because it's a secret rare and it's from an older set and it's the only printing. That's why it's expensive, but this could have been reprinted easily in the legendary duelist, like the 5Ds collection set that came out years ago, as like an ultra rare, even like a rare or common, but they chose not to do it. And this card is really around like a $20 price point, when it could have easily just gone like a common printing. So if you guys do know what this was used for, let me know down below in the comment section. And then second to last, of course, we have Elemental Hero Air Neos. And you guys already know, if you don't know what this card only has the ultra rare and then the ultimate rare. And Konami is never going to really reprint this because there is a potential like lawsuit if they do. There is a European, I believe, airline that's called Neos. So they never want to actually like reprint this card in the like chance that they would get like sued by the actual airline for using the same name. But I'm not sure really why. I mean, at this point, I feel like that wouldn't be something that they would really care about. I mean, hey, I don't know on the legal side about that. If there's any other reason you guys do know, let me know. But I think that people would love to see the reprint, right? Especially if you are a hero lover, you want to collect all the hero cards or even all the Neos fusion cards. It's something that we definitely want to see somewhat, maybe 2025, 2026, but at some point in the future. And then guys, finally, the last card we have is actually the Blood Mephist. So if you guys don't know what this card is, it's a championship card that you really only could get if you won the championship. You won like I think it was a YCS, or maybe it was Nats, possibly, but it was a prize card, right? And unless you did that, or you did, of course, just when you just paid for it straight up, and it was really, it still is really expensive. But now you might say, like, why would they reprint a prize card? They have done it in the past before. There was an XYZ card they actually did reprint. But it's just a really cool card, and it's from 5Ds as well. Like the guy who used it, I think his name was Pierce, he versed Crow Hogan, which was a really cool duel. And that's when Crow unlocked his Blackwing Dragon, just a little lore. But it was a really cool card. I think the effect was a little somewhat broken, but I think it would be cool to kind of see cards like this come back. I think we need more cards either coming from like the manga or just coming from the show for 2026. That'd be 2025, sorry. That would be really cool to see. But of course, let me know what you guys think down below. And yeah, that's pretty much all the cards that I want to talk about in today's video. Again, if I forgot anything, let me know down below. But guys, if you liked the video, make sure to give it a huge like, comment down below your thoughts on the video. And of course, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn notification bell on so you're updated the moment I upload new videos. All right, guys, that's it for me. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.